Hello guys, it's been about a year I'd say since I last uploaded a video, maybe more than a year, but I'm going to try and get back into it if I can. So I'm going to do it in a slightly different format than we used to do. What I'm going to do is record the footage and then do a voiceover of the footage afterwards. So that should make it a little bit easier for me. I won't have to keep going back and reshooting scenes because I got tongue tired or something like that. So that might make things a little bit simpler. So to get things going, we're going to take a look at a sort of a 3D printing series. I recently got an Anycubic Photon 3D printer which prints in resin rather than the rolls of thermoplastic that you would have seen me printing with before. The benefit to that is that with the resin printer you can get a lot more detail from a smaller part. So I think that'll benefit us when we're trying to make very small parts. To even for the class Xerion, that model kind of suffered from an inability to make the detail that I really needed. But we're starting to see a bit of a benefit from the new printer on that, so I'll have a few videos up about those parts coming soon. But this 3D printing series itself is going to be more focused on making accessories probably rather than parts for specific builds. The builds themselves, they'll have their own videos. So this is really going to be more about the design and probably problems that I'm seeing as I'm drawing up parts and then trying to actually print them to see what happens. So to make sure you don't miss out on an update, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell so that you get notifications. The first part that we're working on here is basically the building block that you're going to use to make pretty much any accessory for the rear link of your Siku or your Britains model tractor. If you look at any accessory that you get in the shop, you'll notice that the connection used is very similar to what we're trying to design here, because there's no reason to reinvent the wheel. Siku and Britains both use that same connection type. That means that all the parts are interchangeable, so why would we make anything different? You've actually probably seen me using something similar to this on my models before, because I have for a long time used 3D printed clevis hitch and 3D printed pallet forks for the rear link that I would have done with the FDM printer, my GEE Tech i3. The problem there was the detail wasn't great, so you couldn't actually print the parts that support the accessory. So instead I had used a little bit of copper wire that I had glued in position. I had been able to 3D print some sort of guide holes in the side of it, which meant that I could just drill them out slightly and glue in the copper, but it was never perfect. They were kind of loose and they were kind of rough looking and never really had the the accuracy, the detail that was suitable for the models. Really, it kind of looked out of place. So I'm hoping with the Anycubic printer and the resin that we'll be able to get a little bit more detail and be able to print things that are going to suit the models a little bit better than my FDM printer was able to do. Along with the videos, I'm going to try and keep the website rctractorguy.com up to date with a page that's relevant to each of the accessories that we're going to design during this series, and hopefully that'll include all the information on what we done and what went wrong and things to avoid, really. So hopefully that'll make things pretty clear when you come to try and do this yourself. And you really should try and do this yourself. I'm using Autodesk Fusion 360 here to do the modelling, which is free for hobbyists, so there's no excuse really not to give it a go. And when you do get your designs together, why don't you share them on the RC Tractor Guy Facebook page or on the forum? There'll be other people there who'd be interested, and they might have similar designs or be able to suggest improvements and things like that. So it'd be good to try and get a little bit of a community together on this sort of thing. We're coming to the end of this design here. It's not the most exciting design we'll do in the series, but it is pretty important. Once you have these dimensions right, then pretty much all the rest of your accessories are going to work, or you can be very confident that they're going to work well once you have this part of it done properly. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, and if you have any comments or suggestions, you can head on over to the forum or let me know below the video here. And that's pretty much everything, so thanks very much for watching.